Good morning to my first grade scholars, families, friends. Hello, welcome back to another day of guided reading with Miss Frosty. You are about to grow your brain. You are about to get ready for second grade. If you're with me, clap your hands 4 times. Oops, that was 4. If you're with me, touch your nose. All right, let's get ready to grow our brain. Before we start, today is Thursday, which means that we have our Zoom party at 4 o'clock. What time is our Zoom party? Yes, and you can find that link on our Google Classroom. Okay, so today our Zoom party is at 4 o'clock. We can't wait to see you there for our scavenger hunt party. Also remember, since it's Thursday, this is our last video that you have to watch for this week. Now, if you didn't watch all the other videos, please go back and watch them so that you're learning, your brain is growing. But tomorrow, when you come on to do your remote work, instead of a video, you'll have an exit ticket. You'll have and you all know about exit tickets. You know that there's a couple questions that you're going to need to answer so that your teachers can see if you have been learning this week or if you have not been learning this week. So tomorrow, please make sure you go on your Google Classroom and do your exit tickets instead of watching your videos. Again, if you have not watched videos from this week, please go back and watch those videos before you do your exit ticket. Okay, we are going to start today with some scholars who should be so proud of themselves. It says time to be proud, because if your name is on this screen, you should be so proud of yourself. You should be standing tall. You should be giving yourselves a pat on the back because you're doing awesome. These scholars whose names are on the screen are the scholars that had commented their name on our Google Classroom video from yesterday. So these are all of the friends that watched the video yesterday, they grew their brains yesterday, and they commented their names. So a special shout out and a special time to be proud if your name is Brooklyn Chambers, Sean, Jordan, Ella, Aiden, London, Ava, Makai, Morgan, Charles, Alana, Faith, Cameron Williams, Troy, Zoe, Elizabeth, Kaden, Olivia, and Kamaya. All of those friends should be so proud of themselves. So nice job. If you watched the videos yesterday but you didn't comment your name, you should also be proud of yourself, but please remember to comment your name so that we know you're learning and so we can give you a shout out. Okay, we're going to get started today, and I'm going to give you some hard questions because I want to make sure that you're really understanding what we are learning, okay? So my first question is this: what is an inference? I want you to pause your video. You've been learning about inferences a lot, so you should know what an inference is. I want you to pause your video and answer out loud what an inference is. Go ahead and pause your video and do that now. Okay, friends, you should have said an inference is a guess. An inference is a yes, and we need 2 things to make an inference. We need 2 things. I want you to pause your video and tell me what 2 things we need to make that guess or that inference. Go ahead and pause your video now. This should be so easy. We need text evidence and schema. We need text evidence and schema to make our guess or our inference about our text. I want you to, excuse me, friends, I want you to pause your video and tell me what sentence stem we can use to make an inference. Go ahead and pause your video and tell me the sentence stem now. Good, you should have said, in the story, I read blank, so that makes me think blank. Nice job. That is how we make an inference or a guess about our text. Now, we've been practicing our inferential questions. You are going to always be asked inferential questions in 2nd grade, in 3rd grade, in 4th grade. And so we need to know that you need text evidence and schema to make a guess. What is a character trait? I've been calling friends and asking them this question, and some of us really know and some of us really don't know. So I want you to think, what is a character trait? Pause your video and answer the question now. All right, we should know that a character trait is what a character is like. A character trait is what a character is like. Say it with me. A character trait is what a character is like. Good, one more time, your turn. A character trait is what a character is like. Good, it's what a character is like. Are they bossy? Are they rude? Are they hardworking? Are they nice? Are they loving? Are they friendly? That is what a character is like. That is what a character is. Beautiful. And we also have a sentence stem to help us answer questions about character traits. I want you to pause your video and tell me what sentence stem you can use to answer your questions about character traits. Go ahead and do that now. The sentence stem is the same as the one we already said for our inferences. Our sentence stem says, in the story, I read blank, so that makes me think blank. Good, so we're gonna have to make some guesses or some inferences about our character traits in the stories also. Now today, we're going to read another Goldilocks book. If you were with me yesterday, you remember that we read Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Show a connection if you remember Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It's about a little girl who finds a house in the woods and she decides to go inside and she learns that it's a bear's house. Now, today our story is called Goldilocks and the Other Three Bears. So I'm going to make an inference here. I'm going to make a guess. And I think that this book is going to be similar or the same as the other Goldilocks book, but I think there are going to be a couple of big differences. That means some things of the story are going to be the same and some things are going to be different. So some things will be the same, some things will be different in this story than the story we read yesterday. So let's go ahead and get started and read about who are these other three bears in this new Goldilocks story. Friends, I want you to make sure that you're not guessing your words. Please read through the words. That means you're reading all of the sounds of a word that you get stuck on. Go ahead and pause your video and read through these 2 pages now. Great job, friends. Go ahead and pause your video and read through these 2 pages now. Pause your video and read through these pages now. Pause your video and read through these pages now. Oh, it's getting juicy. Good job, friends. Show some endurance. I know you can do it. Pause your video and read through these pages now. Last 2 pages, great work. Pause your video and read through these 2 pages now. All right, ooh, that was a juicy book. Let's go ahead back and answer some questions about Goldilocks and the Other Three Bears. Okay, my first question. What is a character trait you could use to describe Goldilocks on page 3? What is a character trait you could use to describe Goldilocks on page 3? Go ahead, pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that she found a house and no one answered, so she walked in. So she found a house and she was knocking on the door and no one answered, so she walked in. So that makes me think that she was curious about the house or she was curious about what was inside the house. So a character trait you could use to describe the bear here is curious. The bear is curious, or sorry, Goldilocks is curious. Goldilocks is curious. Yes, just like how the girl Goldilocks was curious yesterday. Next page. What was wrong with the porridge in the big bowl and the porridge in the medium bowl? What was wrong with the porridge in the big bowl and the porridge in the medium bowl? Go ahead and pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that the porridge in the big bowl was too hot and the porridge in the medium bowl was too cold. So that makes me think that the bear didn't want either of those porridges because one was super hot and one was super cold. Good. So which porridge was just right? Yeah, the baby porridge or the porridge from the small bowl. It said just right. Nice job. The porridge was just right. What happened when Goldilocks sat in the small chair? What happened when Goldilocks sat in the small chair? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story I read, she said, "This chair is just right," but then the chair broke. So she sat in this chair, she said, "It's just right," and the chair broke. Why do you think Goldilocks said, "Oh, well"? Why do you think Goldilocks said, "Oh, well," when the chair broke? Go ahead and pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I know that this is not Goldilocks' house. So that makes me think that she said, "Oh, well," because she doesn't really care that she broke the chair. Do you think a bear would care if they broke something? No, she doesn't really care because it's not her house. She's making a mess, she's breaking chairs, but it's not her house, so she doesn't really care that much. That's why she said, oh well. Why did Goldilocks go upstairs in the house? Why did Goldilocks go upstairs? Go ahead and pause your video and answer that question now. In the story I read, Goldilocks was sleepy, so she climbed the stairs to look for a bed. So that makes me think she was tired. So Goldilocks went upstairs because she was tired and she was looking for a bed. Nice job. What was wrong with the big bed and what was wrong with the medium bed? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that the big bed was too hard and the medium bed was too soft. That one comes right from the text. Nice job. What happened when Goldilocks, I keep saying the bear, what happened when Goldilocks, which is Goldilocks the bear, what happened when Goldilocks the bear laid down on the small bed? What happened? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that it was just right, and then I see that the bear said, zzz. So that makes me think that after she lay down in the bed, use your schema. When you say, zzz, what are you doing? Sleeping, yeah. So that makes me think that the bed was just right, and so Goldilocks fell asleep. Yeah, she fell right asleep in that small bed. Nice job. Next page, we're looking at page 10. Who were the owners of the house? Who were the owners of the house? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, it says the owners of the house returned. And I'm going to look at my picture to help me. Whoa. Who are the owners? Are they humans or bears? They're humans. And in our book yesterday, when we read about that little blonde girl who went into the house, who were the owners of the house yesterday? The bears. Ooh, so this book is a little bit different. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Nice job. Let's go ahead to the next page. How did the people feel when they realized that someone had been in their house? How did they feel when they realized that someone had been in their house? Go ahead and pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I see that their faces look like this, and the dad in one of the pictures has his hands on his hips like this. So that makes me think that they are angry or confused or upset or frustrated. They are confused why their house is a mess, but they are angry because it looks like someone has been in their house. Nice job with your character feelings. And of course, this little guy's upset because his chair is broken. So he's really upset. Let's go ahead to the next page. Why does Goldilocks say shh when she hears the voices? Why does Goldilocks say shh when she hears the voices? Go ahead and pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I see that Goldilocks the bear is sleeping and she says shh. So that makes me think that she doesn't want the people to be talking. She wants to go to sleep. She doesn't want anyone to be loud. She wants to sleep just like we sometimes do when we're sleeping also. Really nice job. How do you think the people felt when they found a bear in their bed? How do you think they felt when they found the bear in their bed? Go ahead and pause your video and answer that question now. In this story, I see that the people are like, whoa. And I'm using my schema to know that if I found a bear in my bed, oh, I would not be happy. So that makes me think that the people were angry or confused, just like on the page before this. They were angry or confused about a bear being in their bed. I think confused is a really good word. That means they don't understand why there is a bear in their bed. Nice job. On page 14, it says that the three bears were angry and hungry. Why were they angry and hungry? Why were the three people angry and hungry? Go ahead and pause your video and answer that question now. This is an inferential question, so make sure you're using your sentence stem. Go ahead and tell me, why do you think those people, or the bears, were angry and hungry? Answer that question now. In the story, I know that the bear broke their chairs, the bear ate all of their porridge, and the bear, or I'm so sorry, friends, Goldilocks. In the story, I know that Goldilocks sat in their chairs, ate their porridge, and laid in their beds. So that makes me think that they were angry and they were hungry because they didn't get to eat any of their porridge. So they were angry that someone is in their house, and they were hungry because the bear ate all their porridge. Nice job. Next question. Why did Goldilocks jump out of bed and run all the way home? Why did she jump out of bed and run all the way home? Pause your video and answer that question now. In this story I read, here's my text evidence, I read that she jumped out of bed and ran home. So that makes me think that she was scared of the people. She was scared of them. So she jumped out of bed and she ran all the way home. Ooh, I didn't know that bears could be scared of people. Interesting. So the bear was scared even though she was a bear and there was other humans there. Nice job. Next question. Why didn't Goldilocks ever go back to the home of the three bears? Why did she never go back? Pause your video and answer that question now. In this story, I know that Goldilocks was scared when she woke up and saw humans. So that makes me think that she never wanted to go back to see those humans again. She didn't want to be scared again. She wanted to stay safe. She wanted to stay away from the humans. Nice job. Okay, get ready for my challenge question, my push question. My question is this. If you came home and found a bear in your house, what would you do? What would you do if you found a bear in your house, just like these people did? Pause your video, use your imagination. Pause your video and answer that question now. Okay, nice answers. Thank you for sharing your answers. If Miss Rossi came home and found a bear in her house, I think I would be the one to run out the door. I don't think I would be scary enough to scare a bear away, but I think the bear would scare me. So if I came home and I saw a bear in my house, I would run out the door and I would let the bear have the house. Show connection if you think you would run out away from the bear. Raise your hand if you think the bear would run away from you. Raise your hand if you think maybe you would call someone to come help you with the bear. Yeah, that's probably my second choice. I would probably want to do that also. Nice imagination. Nice job using those brains and growing those brains today. I hope you enjoyed watching or listening and learning about both of our Goldilocks stories. They were kind of the same because they had a lot of the same things like characters and events in the stories, but they were different because the characters were doing different things in the different books. Really nice job. Okay, today I want to remind you that we are having our Zoom party at 4 o'clock. I know I said this in the beginning of the video, but we are so excited to see you. Remember that you are going to be on video and you will be muted. That means you will not be able to be heard for part of the party. Please do not get upset. Please take some deep breaths, but you will be muted for part of the party, but we also will be having lots and lots of fun, okay? We can't wait to see you there, friends. Goodbye. Thank you for growing your brain. See you next time.